Finally, a great Ice Warrior story! At the time of this review, we've had 2 attempts by the television series to reintroduce the Ice Warriors to a new audience, and both ended up being bad, or meh. Thankfully, Matt Fitton steps in and gives us everything we want. Released in November 2017, Cold Vengeance is the 3rd story of Volume 2 of the 10th Doctor Adventures, and sees the Doctor and Rose on a giant space refrigeration facility, orbiting a planet where they meet some pirates, a civilian recycler, and a group of Ice Warriors out for blood. Now, right off the bat, Fitton avoids some of the usual cliches associated with the Ice Warriors, but he still leaves 1 or 2 in there, for reasons. Seriously, can we not just have an Ice Warrior story where they've already thawed out? Thankfully, unlike most Ice Warrior stories, they're not woken up by some contrived plot convenience or some foolish person with no reason. Thanks, Matt Fitton. Appreciate it. Why am my voice dying? I need to drink some water. Now, the big draw with this story is Ten meeting the Ice Warriors, and David Tennant really steals the show alongside Nick Briggs, who plays Lord Haskor, an Ice Warrior with death. I said death, wow. An Ice Warrior with depth. In fact, Nick plays him so well that I actually started rooting for the Ice Warriors here. The scenes with Ten and Haskor are dipped in intensity, and there are several plot developments that make you just a little too jumpy, considering we all know Rose and Doctor survived this story. This is the key to Big Finish. If they can plant the idea that the Doctor and company might die, even though we know they don't, then you've done your job. Rose's role is even more prominent here, but it still feels like the script is balancing her with the Doctor, which is alright. Cold Vengeance shows just how far she's come as the Doctor's companion, and without it being in your face, you can almost see Big Finish giving Rose her own show at some point, given her performance in these 3 stories. I'm not a big fan of the supporting cast here. Maureen Beatty plays space pirate Brona Volta. She's just there to be a sounding board for the Doctor in the same way that Kezia Joseph, who plays Lorna, acts as a sounding board for Rose. Nothing particularly wrong with these characters, just not anything particularly interesting about them either. The script does try to inject some of this intro. I said intro, wow. The script does try to inject some of this into the character of Callum Volta, played by Sean Biggerstaff, and only through the strength of Billy and David's heartfelt performances is one particular scene near the end does this pay off. I feel as though the Ice Warriors are used better here than in Cold War or the Empress of Mars. The story dives into the Ice Warriors' history, explores their motivations for their bloodshed, and as mentioned, after a while, I found myself genuinely sympathizing with them. Not just that, I started to argue out loud against the arguments of the other characters, and the fact that the story can evoke this response from me means a lot. Call it active participation. Let me know what you thought of Cold Vengeance, or if you plan to pick it up. Subscribe to the channel for more videos, and like this one if you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter or become a Patreon of On Patreon. Until next time.